Hello and welcome back to another Command Battle and Win, where we like to move the troops and we waffle and war while we're doing it. So today you're joined by myself, Joe, and you've got my war buddy, Christopher.
Hello.
Captain Azza is somewhere. He's currently travelling through the warp and is making his way to us momentarily at some point. So we're going to start without him because it's getting late and we're both tired. So
That is true.
big news this week, as I'm sure anybody who's listening is aware. We went to Warhammer World on Monday, and we had a glorious game, 2,000
We
points
did.
each on the Skyler City. Is that what it was called?
I think so, something like that.
Something like that. It's a big city.
It was
game.
the Gothic city.
I'm just having a quick look on my phone. I took a photo of what we were doing, I think. But yeah, so we had 2,000 points of lovely Necrons versus 1,000 points of Ultramarines and 1,000 points of Dark Angels. So, Chris, would you like to tell people what happened?
Gonna make me relive the pain. Turns out Commander Joe over there is something of a tactical genius, and the lamb to the lion's slaughter den here, me, just falls straight for it.
You were
So
a lamb to the cosmic slaughter.
I really was. So yeah, it was. I brought my 2,000 points, feeling quite confident with it. Got my new model from my new model syndrome on a Doomstalker, which I'd highly recommend to anyone if they're wondering.
Yeah, cool.
We deployed everything. Everything was going fine, and then it all fell apart pretty much straight after that for
Yeah.
me. So yeah, it was. I think problem for me is that I don't have that tactical foresight thing. So when I'm pulling out the Tempest of War mission cards, recognizing that I'm not going to be able to achieve something and burning it and getting the next card out is definitely a weak point for me.
Yeah, you've
And
fallen for that a few before, haven't you?
yeah, just get too like waylaid really. Um, and yeah, but the only downside I'd say as well was I felt like the tables were a bit packed together
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Warhammer World. So I felt like I kept getting distracted by people keep rubbing up against me, sort of being all like, "Oh, excuse me."
So the, the
Although
the table was it was called Spiral Prime, and it was 8 foot by 6 foot.
big,
Yeah,
bigger
very
than
big.
we've ever played.
Yeah, but our deployment zones were at the opposite ends of the board to each other, and we got quite a big distance to get to each other. But we got 5 objectives, one in each of our deployment zones, one in no man land, and then 2 others that we put down wherever, didn't we? The third one was directly in the middle of the board, and we both drawn objectives to basically take that and do something with it.
Yeah, which
Um,
was the problem really, because I should have recognised very early on. And say we bring it down. I got to bring it down. We had 3 Redemptor Dreadnoughts on the table.
well, 2
And
Redemptor Dreadnoughts and an Invictor Warsuits. You know,
yeah,
we're
sorry,
getting pedantic about our armors.
accuracy. Um, so in the event that there's two units that have got the highest wound count, the opponent gets to choose, and obviously you guys chose the one that was as far away from where I was going to be able to target.
Yep.
Again, at that point, should have burnt the secondary, and it didn't. So that's where it all
Yeah.
sort of fell apart for me, really.
And and
Um,
and then the sheer amount of reinforcement that we brought in.
yeah, I mean, you got a tank.
Yeah, yeah,
First time I've seen you properly use the. I know you've used it before, but properly use your tank and put some Marines in there, run them down the board. I have to say it was glorious.
the impulsor, and then jumped out 5 intercessors and a lieutenant with a shield, and a neo Volkite pistol or some rubbish like that. It's called. I can't remember what it's called.
And then you
Yeah,
deep strike, managed to deep strike in uh, alongside them as well, and just wipe out basically all of my melee.
yeah. There was a squad of 2 squads of bolter inceptors and then one squad of plasma inceptors. There was 5 Vanguard veterans that had all got equipped with claws and jump packs, and then a captain that had got a jump pack. And yeah, that was a glorious. I mean, we. The thing is though that you were playing against 2 people that were able to converse and think one. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, it
yeah,
was. Yeah, I completely played into your hands because you left a little area over
yeah,
for me to Veil of Darkness and deep strike in my Necrons
yeah, yeah.
near the back. I thought I was being really clever dropping them in. Completely played to your thing. You just had a whole lot of firepower waiting for me there.
You dropped you deep striked a lot of models up against a plasma redemptor dreadnought, plasma redemptor dreadnought, a minigun dreadnought, sorry, and then a squad of assault hellblasters, sorry. And that's a lot of firepower coming out.
Yeah, I didn't think
Hell
it
of a
through
lot.
really. And yeah, because I mean, I thought I was being clever because I Veil of Darkness, 20 warriors,
Yeah.
a Royal Warden, and then behind those, I dropped in a unit of flayed ones and a unit of the Ophitin destroyers. So I thought, wow, a nice shield against any firepower. Well, that fell apart for me because they just
Well,
shot them off the table.
they fell apart.
And then
They fell apart.
oh, they fell apart. There was no reanimating those bad boys.
But I think didn't
So
I take all specs scan? Did I do that in the end?
I
And
don't
I
think you did it.
yeah I did because I interrupted you moving. So you moved
Yeah, yeah, I remember now. Yeah,
shot
you
I
took a
shot
few out. Yeah.
about 6 warriors, but I can't remember what it was that took the profile. And then
Um,
as Azza then obviously on his turn took out a load of with his plasma. With Dark
yeah.
Angels, they love plasma.
Oh, it was one of those where I was just watching in disbelief as my army just disappeared in front of me.
Yeah,
Or you guys were racking up the points, and I was just not really scoring anything.
yeah, and I don't know actually
So
if we've played the points fully towards the end as well, because you've got. I don't know whether you've got more points for owning more objectives. I don't think Azure calculated them. So you got scoring 1 in your deployment zone, scoring 2 or more, or scoring basically all of them, sort of thing, and then scoring 1 in your enemy's deployment zone. Speaking of Captain Azzy, he has arrived. I was just about to say, let's put a pin in talking about the battle report, and let's talk about the Bugmans, and then Captain Azza has
Someone say something about food.
deep striked
disappointing
into the
food.
conversation. Yes, disappointing food, very disappointing. So
Yeah.
they took off the all-day breakfast, the legend that is the Bugman meal food.
I mean, if anyone that was listening to the last when we were talking about Bugmans and we were talking about the all day breakfast, it's gone. They said
Gone.
it may be coming back in the future, but that was of little comfort the other day.
Yeah, yeah. So we had
Sad times.
we had
Yeah.
very disappointing food. It could because
Yeah,
what we wanted the dirty fries with the pulled pork, but they didn't have any pulled pork, so we had to have with chili con carne, which was cold.
yeah, it was very reminiscent of tin chili that's just not been warmed up in the microwave for long enough.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, which was a lot for £10.50.
it was
It was
very
just
disappointing.
yeah. As for the burger, how was the burger, Azza?
Very, very overdone.
So to quote you as it got worse the more you ate it. That's what you said.
Yeah,
That's
I
yeah.
remember those words.
And you were happy that you went with the the loaded fries.
Well, I wouldn't say happy.
Mm, well,
Let's just
anything to
say
soften the blow.
the all day breakfast is kind of all or nothing for us.
I know, right?
Yeah. To be honest, it just seems like they've had a complete change of staff or management.
Yeah, with bar, yeah, they just seem to not be that interested in actually cooking or serving food anymore.
No, no. Well, there's only so
So
many microwavable meals they've got to offer, I suppose.
yeah, apparently it was 3. So yeah, if I'm afraid we can't endorse Bugmans anymore.
No, no.
No, we're not happy with Bugmans. We are happy with the Games Workshop store at the minute, though.
Yes, now definitely. We all three of us went in and purchased some very nice stuff, and then the very nice lady gave us free stuff.
Yeah, she did. We won't name her though, just in case she wasn't supposed to. But yeah, we let's just say we were very happy with the free stuff that she was probably freely allowed to give away anyway.
Yeah, there was a list at the side of us that showed you what you were entitled to, but she gave us a little bit more than we were supposed to, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, that's so that redeemed things, I'd say.
Yeah,
We'd saved up our pocket money
we did. Yeah,
over the last few months, got all the purchases that we wanted.
Yeah, Chris did
Although
his extra paper rounds.
I did do my extra paper rounds. Yeah, I was even did a few extra chores around the house.
bit of pocket money.
Earned a few extra pennies.
Oh dear. The book was quite a nice gift, I thought.
The free sample. Yeah,
because it's like.
There you go for it.
I was going to say because it's 40k Horus Heresy and Age of Sigmar, but it's like chapters, isn't it, of different books.
Yeah.
I read 2 pages and then was like, I can't be bothered with this, and I went to sleep.
It's still a nice touch.
It's still a nice touch, and they've got a free bookmark.
Yeah, so that's where we can keep our place in the free book.
Yep. Well, albeit it's chaos.
Oh well, that's good for me because Death Guard.
And then we got a free, like black. It looks like a fake leather type pouch thing, which I assume is for dice.
That's where all my dice now reside.
And then we've got a blue pouch, which has got a flaming skull on the front, and then some. And you may have just heard me. Got some, whatever these things are, some coins.
Counter type things.
Yeah, I don't really know what these.
Which is probably for a game that we don't play, but
yeah. They look Age of Sigmar, perhaps.
Maybe.
What else?
Or maybe like a. Yeah. What else? We got those coins.
Oh, we got the coins.
Those collectible coins.
Was that it?
Yeah. So.
Isn't it funny that we
got the kill team counter?
Oh yes, got kill. Even though none of us
we don't play kill team, but we're very happy we got the counter.
Did you mention the pin badges as well?
Oh, we got the pin badges.
That's a good shout. Yeah.
Which are Iron Fists, which upset
Imperial Fists.
Sorry, Imperial Fist. Tell a lie.
What's the purpley one? I still don't know.
It's a Chaos one, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't know what.
It looks like a I can't remember what they were called, but in Red Alert 2 Command and Conquer there was Yuri's infantry model. It looks like him. Them. The Psychons, something they were called, I can't remember.
Right. So yeah, it was good. We got quite a few models, so we've got some new stuff to come into our armies. Played a good game.
Would anybody like to weigh in and explain what they purchased?
Yeah, I'll go. I just got a nice little transport, little battle wagon for my Orksies.
Good, look awesome.
Have you assembled it yet?
No, I've just started clipping it off the sprue this evening. I still don't know how. I might be tempted to magnetize because it's one of those kits that you can build in. There's 3 different types of vehicle you can build with the kit. It's a battle wagon, a bone breaker, and a gun wagon. Yeah. So I'm not sure now. Because the battle wagon would probably be the most useful because it takes up to 20 troops.
And that's what we need. 20 orcs going up the battlefield.
On a merry bus ride that can shoot out the side as well.
Nice. You need to get them done.
I'm looking forward to playing against the Orcs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about a game mode. I mean, I'm kind of going off on a tangent because we were talking about what we all got, but I was thinking we devise some kind of game where it's one of Chris's army, one of Joe's army, and then like maybe turn 2 or whatever, they hear a rumbling in the distance, and maybe however many points are left on the battlefield after your first or second turn, that's how many points worth of orcs come on.
Oh, I like that.
That could, yeah. And then you got to decide which one are you going to go for.
We have to make it a bit more interesting. Like the orcs come onto the battlefield. I don't know. We could work out like, so if someone, say if Ultramarines or Nids had slightly more points left on the table, then the orcs would be slightly further over to their deployment zone when they come onto the battlefield.
That's I like that. It's clever.
So we may have a War Spanner episode coming up in the future.
War Spanner. For those who don't know, that's where we create our custom sort of like rules games and stuff. War
Yeah,
Spanner.
our own little twist on it.
Yeah, tinkering with the War Spanner.
I like it.
Which is a very orky style of play, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I'll go next with my purchase.
Do it.
So I got 3 models. So I got purchases. So I got the Catan Shard of the DC. Is it Nightbringer? Yep.
Yeah.
The Nightbringer for my Necron units. So that's a big pointage one. You can only get that from from Warhammer World or online because it's resin printed. And then I also got a new bloat drone for my Death Guard army because I've got 2 bloat drones, but they were the easy starter set ones with the plague spitters. And I've been playing the flesh mower, and that flesh mower looks pretty awesome. So now I want to be able to have an actual flesh mower. So I've got that, and then to bulk out my terrain sets for the game boards, I've already got the silos. I've got 2. So I've got some gantry walkways to help extend that out and make it a bit longer and a bit bigger for our terrain.
Did you not buy something? I thought you bought something else.
No, I got the spray paint and that was it.
I thought you got something else. Yeah.
No.
A mighty fine haul, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, pre-decided what I was going to get. Got there, didn't waver, stuck to it.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah, I know. I did and ah about buying some chaos bikes because I do like chaos bikes. However, they are the smaller models, and I have more than enough on my pile of shame already.
Yeah, that
So I'm
makes
going to
sense.
hang fire for now.
Definitely.
Joe, what did you get?
I got a Primaris Repulsor Executioner, which I didn't realise that it's £67.50 because they didn't have
What?
any prices on them. 60.
Yeah.
I've just pulled it up on the web. I'm like, £67? Jeez. I thought it was like £50. Anyway, it's too late
I
now.
think it probably was once upon a time.
Do you know what? That was probably something that did you a favour because otherwise you would have backed out of buying it.
I would have, and I walked around cuddling it. So I bought him, and I also bought the event exclusive. So it was last year's event exclusive, the champion that I wanted. That they sold out last year, but this year they've got millions of them, loads of them. So I jumped at the opportunity. I got that. Got the Primaris, the Executioner. What else did I buy? Bought some paint.
Nice.
McCrag Blue, was it?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That was it.
Do you have a bit of a blue colour theme to your armors, do you, Joe?
I do, yeah. It's Hypoxic Space Marine. They're blue. Is that all I bought? I thought I bought something else.
Didn't get any Tyranids, did you?
No, but that's because number one, they had none. They had two of the Tyranid Guards models. They had a box of gargoyles and some Forge World stuff that I've heard on the grapevine or whispers of the warp that they're being re-released. So I thought with 10th edition coming around the corner, I'll get what I definitely don't have and definitely won't get a new version of, which was a tank. And I've wanted a tank for ages. So
Oh, you
like
really have, yeah.
proper tank. Like I specifically went for this one because it's got the big barrel on the front. It looks like a tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And looking at the data sheet for that, it's a hell of a tank.
insane, absolutely. Like the main cannon is 72-inch range. like 72. I think the strength is 14. And I'm gonna proper nerd out now. I'm gonna pull it up on my phone.
It's
But
definitely going to be the target of a lot of shooting
oh,
to
absolutely.
try and bring it down as fast as we can.
So it's got 16 wounds. Its weapons are main weapons that I've put are frag storm grenades, which are standard. A heavy laser destroy, which is 72-inch range, heavy 2, strength of 12, minus 4 AP, doing D3 plus 3 damage. Then the heavy onslaught Gatling cannon, which is the standard one on the Redemptor. Although I think the range might be longer on this. It's 30 inches. Then it's got the Icarus rocket pods, the Iron Hail heavy stubber, the Bolt Storm or Storm Bolters, twin heavy bolters, and twin Icarus Iron Hail heavy stubber. It's a lot of weapons. And then it's also got, if you're using the heavy laser or the macro plasma incinerator, which is the alternative thing, you add 1 to your attack rolls if it's equipped with the Aquilian optics.
So it's harder to hit, but when it does hit, it really packs a punch.
Yeah, well, the ballistic skill is only 3 plus.
Yeah, but if you add in 1 to that, it's 4 plus, isn't it?
Or does it add 1 to the rolls to make it a 2 plus?
I think it's add 1 to the rolls, isn't it?
Normally, if it's really strong, like like with the power fists and stuff like that, normally it's 1 to make it so it's harder to hit,
Well,
not easier.
I think this is an upgrade that you pay, so I imagine it makes it easier to hit. Hang on, let's jump over to Battle Scribe. It's also got the ability to carry models, which
What?
yeah,
So it also transports as well?
yeah, a little bit.
Oh, for crying out loud.
And it also, not only does it transport bog standard troops, it can also transport a 3 squad of Gravis. So I could stick some Bolt Storm aggressors or some Flame aggressors in there, nip up the table, jump them out, and then flame.
Oh dear.
Or bolt.
Oh dear. I think I definitely need to invest in that Chaos Rhino for my Death Guard army.
I think so.
I think after seeing your tactics of being able to load them up, run them down the board, drop them out, and unleash hell's fury, it's definitely something that I'm thinking Death Guard need, because
Yeah,
they're so slow
Yeah.
that sometimes you just need to be able to get them moving and get them up the board.
yeah, definitely.
Just imagine doing that with what are they? The Blight Lord Terminators.
Oh yeah, so you can fit 5 of those into a Rhino.
Yeah, that'd be the
So,
one.
yeah. Although you can deep strike as well with those, so you could run up, say, a
Yes.
squad of Marines, and then you can deep strike in your Terminator and Typhus together, and then charge them straight in.
Mm. The Battle Scribe, it's not an equipable thing, but it's an ability. So if it was to remove, basically to make it harder to hit, it normally is in the weapon profile, isn't it? This
Yeah,
isn't
it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
normally it'd say like when you use this,
like the power fist.
Yeah,
You deduct 1. Yeah, so this is a unique ability at the top. So I would assume that makes
must
it
mean
easier.
that's a buff then. Yeah,
Crazy. Oh,
bloody hell. So I'm guessing that's like if it. I suppose if it's a laser focused, then maybe it means it's that it's like a laser sight, maybe.
yeah,
So
yeah, I imagine so. The problem that I've got now is that I've got a pile of Tyranids that have been built, scraped, and primed, ready to be painted because I stopped doing Space Marines, obviously.
yeah.
And now I'm like, I don't want to do the Tyranids anymore. I want to go back and do the Space Marines now.
So basically, what you mean is the Games Workshop marketing strategies that we were moaning about have worked wonders on us again.
Yes, they
Yeah.
know exactly how they
And,
to play us.
and advertising and strategies work on us. So here we are talking about buying yet more models, even though not 2 weeks ago we were moaning about the price increases, and now we're going to just not buy any more models.
In my defence, I am not purchasing anything until 10th edition. Although I did buy the ATV the other day when I went to Games Workshop.
Yeah, is that the buggy thing?
That's the buggy thing, yeah, the Mario
Yeah.
Kart. But that's because I felt very awkward in the shop, and I felt like I'd walked such a long distance to it, and then they were being really nice and talkative that if I walked out, it looked like I was nicking stuff, so I had to buy something. And I didn't want to spend 30 quid on the chaplain on the bike, which I kind of really want.
So you didn't just buy a pot of paint.
No.
you went for a buggy. What choice did you have?
I wanted the buggy anyway.
Yeah, this is the problem because I've now got my eye on a Rhino and I've got my eye on a second Doomstalker because I quite enjoy playing with the first one.
Oh, could you run a squad of 3 of them? That'd be awesome.
Well, in theory, I could. I know it would definitely be something that I'd think about in the future.
Can you have 3 Doomstalkers in one squad then? Is it not a single?
I'd have to
Probably.
check.
They're probably individual units, but Games
But you
Workshop
can
have
bring
that rule.
3.
Yeah, 3 of the same unit.
Yeah. So it's definitely a possibility. I think I think it actually did a bit better than the battle barge does. The annihilation barge,
Mm.
which is another heavy unit. So out of the two, I think I'd be more inclined to take a Doomstalker than a annihilation barge.
I mean, as I've always said, the newer models are better. The
That's true.
Doomstalker is a newer model than the barge, but I was
They're a
saying,
lot easier. It's a lot easier to build as well.
yeah,
The newer models.
yeah, definitely. Well, like I was saying to you, was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember now. Imagine having 2 Doomstalkers, and then in the centre you've got like a squad, or you've got HQ, and then we come
Oh
charging up, and they both take the Overwatch.
yeah. If a unit gets charged within 6 inches of a Doomstalker, and they've also there's a command. I think it was a command point that you can spend. I don't know if it's 1 or 2 command points called Revenge of the Doomstalker, and if a character falls within a certain range, they basically take a shooting round at whatever killed it, like just in pure anger and rage.
Yeah, I'm having a look at the battle scribe. The You've got a stalking annihilator as well, which enables you to take an extra shot or something.
Are you looking at Battlescribe or Wapedia?
Sorry, Warpedia, not battle scribe.
Yeah, it's a good tool, Wapedia, because they have all the stratagems at the bottom.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's good.
now I feel like I'm back to where I was like 2 years ago, where I got loads and loads of Tyranids unpaid, and I've got loads of Space Marine stuff now. So I've got like my Blade Guard veterans that I've had some custom heads and shields built that I really want to paint up for when we play a Crusade, just in time for 10th edition to get rid of Crusade. And yeah,
Potentially. We that's not a confirmed rumor.
we could start it as a rumor.
I did think we could start any rumor we want and just say it's a rumor.
Yeah,
And
nobody will
then
know.
when it doesn't happen, we go, well, it was only a rumor.
Yeah, it's a rumor. Yeah, so looking forward to jumping back on the Space Marine bandwagon, if I'm honest. But I still enjoy painting the Tyranid, although this Tyrannofex, I've took a break from painting it and I've been playing on games and stuff.
I'm the same as you. Because I played Dark Angels at Warhammer World, it's made me think, oh, Dark Angels. And of course, all the rumours about 10th edition.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, pretty hard to keep focused on my alt boys, which is
Well,
a shame, really.
I also saw somewhere, I think it was Games Workshop, talking about the Meta Watch and saying that Dark Angels are at the top. Just Googling now.
Yeah, it's normally because of Deathwing and Ravenwing, which I don't have any of.
Yeah, so So it's Gene Stealer cults are at the top, and then Dark Angels, then Adaptus Custodes.
Yep.
They're the main ones, and the worst ones at the moment is Death Watch and Adaptus Mechanicus, which is funny because they were like a powerhouse at one point, AdMech, when they first were released, and were OP, and when their codex was first released, and it was you know what I mean?
Yep.
You
And then when
mean
the codex
you
was
mean
updated,
an army was first released and it was OP?
Yeah, I know, right?
That
Shock.
doesn't sound like Games Workshop.
It
And
does
then they
not.
nerfed it when they brought the next army out.
Yeah.
Nah, no, that can't be a marketing strategy again.
Leagues of Volton, they're in the same category as Space Wolves, Necrons, Tyranids. So interestingly, sorry, Necrons are 49%, Tyranids are 50. Even though they're oh no, sorry, I was gonna say even though they've just been updated, but no, it was you that updated your battle scribe.
Yeah, made a very big difference to the game outcomes when I finally updated there's just something like 15 updates out of date.
Yeah, a little bit.
So it's a little bit of a whoops moment.
Orcs are 53%. So at the moment, as according to this, the win rate, you've got two of the best. Well, you're in the top of the league really. You've got Dark Angels army, which are blitzing it. They're second, and then you've got Orcs, which are close behind at a third.
well, do you know the cruel irony there is that the Dark Angels are blitzing it because they've got Deathwing Terminators and they've got Ravenwing bikes. I don't have any, and the Orcs are doing so well because of their Goth clan, the ones in black armor. So that which are all the melee focused ones, and I have the Bad Moons, which are the shooting focused ones, and they're doing crap. So unfortunately, I've picked the wrong side of the winning team.
Literally swinging and missing.
Yeah. But I think, as you do with your Tyranids, Joe, I'll just complain my Bad Moons as Goths and reap the rewards of chasing the meta.
Absolutely. Now, are we going to be talking about the OP hammer based elephant in the room with the new Vasta model? You know, Vastor of the Arcafane or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
His hammer is strength 14 minus 2 AP doing 3 damage, but if you're up against a vehicle and you roll over a 5, 4 mortal wounds. Like, why?
He's
I
meant
think
to
we
be
all
like
know why.
Well, yes. There's marketing why, and then there's actual story why. Which one do you want to know?
Well, I know the story why, but just the marketing.
To sell.
But then have you also seen the new rules for Azrael? Or is it Azrael?
Yeah.
Yeah, he gives an invul save to people on like
he always has done.
Oh, has he? Oh, okay, I thought that was a new ability.
No, his helmet, that's like the lion's helm or something like that. It's always given an invul save as an aura.
Oh, okay. Well, I shall pipe down.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Oh, I've got his date sheet here. I'm sure there's something else new on it.
The only new thing I noticed was his sword is stronger, and now he's Primaris. He's got an extra wound and an extra attack.
Oh yeah,
That's it.
I saw something briefly before we started playing. Apparently, he's crossed through the Rubicon, the Rubik's cube. He got all the sides, all the colours correct, and he's won his ability to be a little bit stronger.
That's it. Yeah, so technically, I think he's died.
Yes,
and
apparently so.
As a result, they brought him back.
Yes, apparently a watcher was watching him and stole him at the point of death and brought him back. So I was half-heartedly listening, if I'm honest. I was eating pizza at the same time.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not as lame as it sounds. Because to me, it sounds a little. Oh, we need to turn him into this big model so we can sell him.
Well,
How's he?
I thought they were getting rid of the keyword Primaris for 10th edition.
Well, they might still be. I guess that doesn't explain that he's bigger.
Well, he's obviously closer.
I think they'll want to keep Primaris in the sales. Yes, that's very funny. They want to keep Primaris in the sales because it's more of a, what's the word, copyrightable name.
True.
It's unique.
Yeah. Maybe they'll just sort of drop it from a law, not a law, from a rule point, if you like. No Primaris welcomes in our tanks.
Yeah. I think that's probably exactly what they're going to do because it makes no sense. You're effectively got two separate armies in one codex.
Should I tell you? Should I tell you one of the most disappointing things that I learned about the Hammer 4 bunker thing?
It's only about 170 points.
Not just that, right? When they first announced it, and it was like, it drops in mid game, and it's like reinforcements. I was like, oh my god, it's a drop pod. No, it's not. No, it's not. Oh. Or I thought you could drop it in and then you could garrison your models that could shoot at it. Nope, you can't do that.
Well, you can't put models in it.
No, it's just drops.
Oh, I mean, it's called a bunker, so I assumed you could.
I thought I'm going to double check. Hammer full bunker data shoot. That was one of the reasons why I was put off by it, because I really wanted the model. Yeah, no.
Even the boss bunker can have orcs in it.
Yeah. It's very sad.
It's quite sad, actually. I'm sorry, man.
It has a defensive array in your shooting phase. Each time this model is selected, the Hammerfall Heavy Bolter array or the Hammerfall Heavy Flame array targets resolves each time an enemy uses Overwatch. Blah 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 blah. Does something changes to heavy 6 and 2d6 damage. Bit crap, really, isn't it? Oh, apart from the missile launcher, the range on that is 72 inches. That's cool.
That is cool.
But then you also don't really need to drop it in the middle of a... Hang on. You can't deep strike it. It doesn't have a deep strike keyword.
Has it got something that is like deep strike but not deep strike?
No.
Mid-battlefield assembly.
No, it's got nothing. It holds the keyword building. Building.
So you set it up at the start of the battle and hope for the best.
It has no rules about deployment.
Helpful.
That's
just sort of... Yeah, so you can only just set it up on the battlefield and that's it.
It's 100 points.
It's quite cheap.
But then again, if you've got an objective marker in your deployment zone, you could whack that bad boy right on top of it or right next to it.
Yeah.
And then you've got this 72-inch range, like. It's all right. Nothing to shout out about.
I think you just need the servo turret instead.
I do like the servo turret. So all in all, we completely went off on a tangent then, didn't we? All in all, we had an epic battle, and we scored a fuckload of points. We spent a fuckload of money.
Yep.
We were disappointed by the food.
A fuckload, yeah.
Yeah.
Question is, boys, are we going to go again?
Well, we're going to have to, aren't we? Really?
We're going to go. Yeah, we're going to go again.
Oh yeah, I think what's going to happen is we're going to bolster up our fast attack, and then we're going to use that to go on that wastelands board.
Oh yeah, that would be good. That would be very good.
So, which is why I'm suddenly looking at the Rhino, because I'm thinking, that'll do it.
We do that big board. I would want to bring my battle wagon, my stomper, and my Gorkanaut.
Oh, then I would go Tyrannid, obviously. Maybe.
And, yeah, and I'd bring my Death Guard. It's all falling perfectly.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Unless I've got my not gladiator, my whatever it's called, the tank, the executioner built, then maybe I'll go with that. Oh,
Yeah, bearing in mind I don't have any of these built apart from the Gorkanaut.
touche.
Well, that's fine. We get something in the diary that's far enough in advance that we've got time to get building and painting.
Yeah.
Gives us that motivation, the drive, and we can start putting some in our pocket money in the piggy banks.
I like that.
Well, when is 10th edition due out? If rumoured to announce it, is it next month? No, April, May. No, is it April they're announcing it, and then it's going to be on sale in June and July? I think I saw somewhere.
I think they're going to announce the end of that Arcs of Omen series, or whatever
Okay.
it is. Is it that one? The one with all the books with Vashtor? Yeah, they're thinking that the Lion is going to get announced in April, and 10th edition is going to be May, June time, I think.
Ooh. Yeah.
Good.
Right. I think we've
Right.
waffled and warred enough. Waffled about war enough. But,
Sounds good to me.
So, shall we say same time next week? Be there or be a heretic?
That's the one.
Be a filthy Xenos.
Filthy Xenos. All right. Well, thanks for listening. If you've got this far, let us know. Like, subscribe, tell your mums. We're on Instagram. We're on Spotify.
Oops.
Hey, don't forget to move the troops and all of that.
Goodbye.
Right. Goodbye.
Goodbye.